The following program, though incredibly nerdy, is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, and you probably shouldn't watch if you're an overly sensitive pussy. The following program, though incredibly nerdy, is intended for mature audiences.
Hey, don't worry. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. I got you, fam. Welcome on in, everybody. Hope you're doing well. We've got another fun day of nerd venging ahead of us. Some pretty cool shit to get into, if you ask me. Over the weekend, Daniel Pooper Scooper RPK did seemingly confirm aspects of my Anakin Skywalker, Dave Filoni's big plan scoop. So we'll talk a little bit about that. That's kind of interesting. Yes. So we'll get into that. We also have some Punisher shit. That Punisher special must have done well. They're already greenlighting another Punisher project, and that's awesome. So we'll talk about that a little bit. And then the main topic of the day, the main thing that I want to get into is these leaked casting. So it's mostly like extras, I do believe. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Some of you guys saw this last week and you brought it up to me and you were like, yo, like, this is really cool, we got to talk about this. I was gonna do a full video on it, but I just was busy this weekend, so I didn't do it. So we'll go over it today. There's really interesting stuff in this casting stuff, and I want to do that thing that I always do, which is to read way too far into this shit and try to draw all kinds of conclusions. and talk about all of the crazy stuff that's going on with Secret Wars and what Marvel is going to be doing with all of that, because I think it's going to be pretty freaking cool. So that's what's on the agenda for today, and I'll have some, other stuff going on. I'll update you guys in just a little bit, but let's see what's going on with y'all. How was your weekend? How you guys feeling? What's going on out there? Zach is first today. Says, happy Monday, Nerd Avengers. I got to watch after work, but take my money, Josh. Have a great day, everyone. Well, I really appreciate that 5 spot, man. Thank you, and I hope work goes smooth. Silky smooth. Smooth as butter. Good morning, Josh. I got my haircut yesterday. Now I really look like Cal Kestis. I'm trying to remember of what is he? I can't really think of Cal Kestis' haircut, bro. That's how checked out of Star Wars I am. I couldn't even tell you what is he even? Does he have an afro, a perm? Couldn't tell you. But good for you. I'm happy that you're happy, and that's all that matters there. So, boom shakalaka. What's up with everybody else, man? Isn't his hair cut customizable? Oh yeah, it's that guy. Yeah, I guess it is customizable, right? Because it's a RPG. You can do a whole character collection or a creation thing. Yeah. Home from a week-long union conference. Ooh. And maybe going on strike Monday. Crazy times. Need reduced rake on the Den of Nerds. I don't know what that means, brother. But the rake is just a part of life. Always has been, always will be. But happy that you're out of the union bullshit. That is a pretty crazy thing, I'm sure. All right, let me get some of this stuff out of here. Dude. Oh, the ads. Dude, I don't know what's going on with the ads. Like, I try to turn them off, but then this little voice in my head was like, hey, I like money. And I was like, Mr. Krabs, what the fuck? So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. I try to shut it off. It just doesn't work, I don't know. I'll try again. Joshua Keppel Bluegrass says, happy birthday, Josh. Nerd Avengers for life. Much love. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Oh, pardon me. X-Men 97 Season 2 trailer looks awesome. Yeah, should we check that out? I did see that. Got posted on, I saw it on the Reddits. I think it was at some kind of thing over the weekend. And maybe it was made public, maybe not. Yeah, that could be cool to look at. Yeah. New Lanterns trailer looks peak. Get the fuck. I mean, okay, cool. Where's it at? When did it drop? Probably just dropped, right? Look, I bet we'll check it out. Did it really just drop? I would imagine they have taken into consideration some of the feedback, let's say. And maybe they've tried to at least make it look like it's an actual Green Lantern show, you know what I mean? And not just some goobly glob bullshit with a bunch of, cowboys and hillbillies and diners and egoed up police chief detective persons and mysterious families that own major parts of the town and conflict of interest between law enforcement and power structures. And anyway, yeah, let's watch it. Oh, sure, we could do that. I'm super psyched about it. Let me find it for you guys here. Super pumped about it. You guys know me. All right. Everybody, just calm your tits. Holy fuck. Okay, let me get this pulled up. Looks like we got another topic for today. Yeah, all right. Woo! Lanterns. Woo, yeah. Reacting to the trailer. By the way, here goes all the fucking ad revenue for this stream. Fuck you, HBO Max. Fucking James Goon, stupid ass motherfucker. Yeah, so all those fucking ads you guys are all fucking mad about, here, now it's all going to HBO. So I guess we can both be pissed about the ads now. What a world. What a fucking world. Anyway, let me Get this son up here. I'm actually dead ass about that. They gonna take my shit. All right, you buttholes. I mean, chat, are you ready? You guys ready? Solidarity, exactly. What a world. All right, so we've got the Lanterns trailer, a new one, and we're all very excited about the Lanterns trailer, but I think the first trailer left a lot to be desired, and I think there's a lot of concerns about the show, man. You know, different people have different concerns. Lack of green, lack of cosmic shit, lack of lanterns, lack of green lanterns, lack of lanterns that are green, and shit like that, right? And also, it just kind of feels like one of those low budget, like we're gonna take the super out of the superhero and put it into a different genre to save money, and then eventually, like, you know, get the suit into the last 5 minutes of the show. You know what I mean? So there's like a lot of concerns. But having said that, I think they've maybe heard some of that criticism. They've heard some of the concerns, maybe even adjusted the show, but really probably adjusted the marketing for the show to let us know that there's more green in this. Okay, so here we go. Let's let it rip.
With all due respect, we've been training for what, 2 months? And I haven't even worn the ring yet.
Is this the other? Oh, okay, this is different, no?
Don't get hung up on the jewelry, Junior.
Or is this the same
You're just a
trailer?
fucking substitute teacher. You're not ready to get up in front of the class until the ring says you are.
All right.
Is this the old trailer?
I could have died.
You want me to train you? I'm training you.
That's not the... I was gonna say, that's looking a little old to me. Okay, there's all these like weird versions of it. Where's the fucking official one? All right, so let me see here. If I go to HBO Max, wow, this is
With all
real.
due respect, we've been training for what, 2 months?
It should just be on here, right? Like you would imagine on the HBO Max. Okay, here we go. 13 minutes ago. Boom, shakalaka. Okay, guys. Everybody relax. Relajate way.
This ring, it's the greatest weapon in the universe.
Whoa! Holy shit, there's green!
When and if to use it, that's the whole ball game, Junior.
More green, you say?
Did you just use that ring to counterfeit money?
No.
Tell me how you got it. The ring.
You know how I got it. I sure as hell didn't interview for it.
Oh, well, shit, maybe you should have. Power like that, shouldn't you have to work for it?
I've been doing this since you
This
were a
is so
baby.
much better.
The only way you're gonna get this ring is over my dead fucking body.
I think he likes me. Everybody is lying to us.
We're not leaving here until we find out what they're hiding.
Danger's part of the job. You need to be fearless.
How are you chosen for this?
It's only one question. Are you afraid?
You afraid?
Are you afraid? Are you afraid?
What the fuck happened? What the fuck?
Are you afraid? Are you afraid?
I was raised fearless, and I'll do this better than he's ever done it before.
Then go and get it, John Stewart.
Okay, so is there a postie? Let's see, is there a little post credit scene? No, it doesn't seem like there's. Okay, so first off, they need to find the person responsible for the first trailer. They need to find the person responsible for the marketing up until now. And we need a Cersei-like walk of shame through, I don't know, every fucking city in North America. This is crazy. This is so much better than that first trailer. It's not perfect, and there's still issues that you can kind of see and maybe reasons to be concerned. But just from a fucking, just like first impression, like what does it make me feel? Am I interested? That kind of a reaction, that surface level, like does this even work to intrigue me? This is so much better than that first trailer. I hope this can overcome, you know, that bad first impression. Gunn has this really, and I don't know exactly what's going on over there, but there's a bad first impression thing that is going on over there. The first reveal of the Superman suit, terrible. Eventually, looks good. First trailer for Supergirl, I thought it was pretty bad. And I would imagine they're tweaking it and it's going to get better. First promotion and trailer for Lanterns, not great. This was 1,000,000 times better. 1,000,000 times better. There's actual constructs. There's actual green. We see him in his suit. There's cosmic shit. We see other planets. Holy shit! Who the fuck was responsible for? I'm actually serious. Like that is because the first impressions really matter, especially in this day and age. What if this whole pooch is screwed because it won't be able to overcome the first impression? That's a possibility. Now, having said that, this is really fucking cool, man. This was really what I was hoping more for out of just the promotion, but the show in general. You know, you hear about the creatives behind the team, and there was always something there. There was a gold in the hills. I love the idea of the two military guys who come from different branches, by the way, come from different eras. This ebony and ivory thing, this rivalry thing. Like, there's stuff there, and there's Jews there. If you're going to be terrestrial, if you're going to stay on Earth, you've got to at least go to the places within these characters' stories where they're in war zones and danger and essentially facing fear is really what it is. And I love that, to wrap the whole trailer in this idea of fear and this idea of being able to overcome fear or not feel fear. You know, it's incredible. Now, if I were to extrapolate just a teensy bit from the things that we see in the trailer, I can't help but think a parallax thing is happening here, okay? And I don't know if it's already happened and Hal already did that shit, or if it's on the way or something. I'm not really sure. But this idea, because you got to realize that at one point in Green Lantern lore, Hal Jordan, who is the greatest Green Lantern there ever was or will be, sorry, John, Hal Jordan is corrupted by parallax. He is corrupted by the primal sort of emotional spectrum source wall manifestation of fear itself in parallax. And when that happens to him, he, being the greatest Lantern that ever was or will be, uses his incredible power to destroy the fucking core, dude. It's awesome, but dark and mysterious, and it's a really cool part of the lore. So I don't know if they're gonna like go deep on that, right? They're probably just gonna maybe make some references to it. I mean, I can't imagine the show cracks into actual parallax Hal at the end and John has to stop him and shit like that. I just can't imagine. That would be fucking insane, dude. But no, I can't imagine that. And instead, they're probably going to sort of play with that theme and idea and maybe explore it later on. Maybe they'll do a thing where Hal is killed and then brought back to life by parallax or something, you know, which would stray, I think, from the books. But either way, cool. Now, let's go back through the trailer a little bit and look at some of these cool things. Again, that was cool, man. That was very successful. So, you know, we get this shot here on some kind of planet. This could be Earth. It looks like Earth. Freaking crazy ass laser beams coming down. The constructs look good. You know what I mean? The constructs look good. Let's watch this a little bit more. Yeah, I like it. I like how it almost has like an organic feeling. You know? It's a little bit different than the constructs we saw with Guy and the way that it kind of just cartoons in Gunn's thing.
When and if to use it, that's the whole ball game, Junior.
So Calvin says, explain what the constructs are. So essentially, the rings, these are power rings that allow the user to channel their consciousness and create what are essentially hard light constructs of, you can think of it as like plasma or energy or something. It's like a mind over matter manifestation in like totally tangible form. And what made Hal so great was his willpower. So the ability to not feel fear is important, but also the power of your will, which is to say, the way you can focus your consciousness on any particular thing, that is directly connected to the strength of your constructs. So imagine it like this. Let's say a sort of weak-willed person and a strong-willed person both manifest a sword. When these two swords were to come into conflict, the person with the weaker will, their sword might shatter. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So the degree to which you have strong willpower is the degree to which your constructs keep form. Does that make sense?
Did you just use that ring to counterfeit money?
No.
Chandler's good in this. I like the attitude. Okay. So when he says, you know how I got it, it's because of an alien that landed and died, by the way. Aubin Sur. I hope we get to see Aubin Sur, actually. I really like Aubin Sur. But, yeah, really interesting stuff here, you know, building that camaraderie. It is interesting that Hal has the ring most of the time. I actually thought it was going to be the other way around. So this is kind of interesting. Now, I'm sort of terrified that Hal's going to die or get killed or get corrupted or something, and it's all John from here. But maybe there's more to that as well. Maybe there's more that we don't understand about that. So this looks to be that same scene. He's got the lantern here, which is interesting. The police look like they're trying to stop him. Yeah, probably not a good idea. And this is probably connected to that other scene where Hal used the ring to try to protect those people from the red lasers. It seems like it's in the same setting. I can even see some of the cars are the same. Some of this is televised. Interesting. I like him in the suit, too. Now, what is this? Is this Aubin Sur? Is this Aubin Sur landing? Kind of looks like Earth here, right? Yeah. Or is that like a parallax thing? Because it is technically yellow, yeah. I kind of like this, man. I got to be honest. I didn't dig it when we saw it on the rack. You know, we saw it in the first trailer, the suit on the rack. Looked kind of fucking lame. This looks better. This looks better. Chandler looks good in it. I like this, too. This looks like Sinestro, dude. Is that pink skin? Now, we've heard that Sinestro's in this show. Oh my God, brother. I'm starting to get excited about this fucking show. I was all the way out. I was all the way out. And now, and just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Brother, is this a scene between Sinestro and Hal Jordan? Wow.
You afraid?
Are you afraid?
Okay, so guy's gonna be in here. It looks like maybe Hal's in prison. Maybe John.
Are you afraid? Are you afraid?
Yeah, very effective, man. Just the build up, all of it, very, very cool. Sinestro in jail, maybe. So that is interesting, right? The fact that it's orange is so strange. I wonder what it is. If it were yellow, I'd feel like it was some kind of fear toxin or whatever. Orange is greed in the emotional spectrum. I can't imagine they'd try to make John greedy, though. Maybe greedy for the ring? I don't know. Maybe this is just some kind of, like, super science bro way to shut people down or something. The action looks good. The action looks good. I particularly like this shot, how the wind kind of goes over Larfreeze. That would be cool, bro, but I doubt it. Like, this is cool.
I was raised fearless, and I'll do this better than he's ever done it before.
Then go and get it, Jon Stewart.
Yeah, it's a very effective trailer, man. That's a lot better. I'm actually gonna watch the show now. I can't fucking believe it. I was actually mad when y'all brought it up. I was like, oh, here we go, Lanterns trailer. But no, this is quite excellent. What are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts? This kind of made me do a 180. So that's kind of rare. What do you guys think? Looks solid? Yeah, solid. Wait, what? The gun is not jammed yet. Fair. Looks 10 times better than the first and beyond what I expected. Hell yeah. Pass. Shocking lack of constructs. Well, I mean, yes and no. It's a million times more constructs than we saw in the first trailer, right? But yeah, it's still not a ton. Looks like a good show to fall asleep to? What the fuck? The switch up is amazing. I mean, I don't know. It's okay. It's all right. Let's not get crazy. Good birthday present for you. Hell yeah, dude. This is I mean, this is better than I thought. I pretty much wrote this show off, man. And now I'm actually looking forward to it. Wow. Wee wah. All right, well, hey, there you go. Nice little surprise. Warner Brothers gets all my ad revenue now. Cool. Good job. Good job, Lanterns. You did it. You done so good. Woo! Woo! Okay. Can we get into some other shit now? Can we talk just a little bit about Star Wars? How about this? Put a 1 into the chat if you're sick of Star Wars. You sick of me talking about it yet? Looks like ass. I really like ass. So, okay, there you go, bud. Look at all these ones, man. This is crazy. Can we please stop talking about Star Wars? Says Braden. Sick of war, man. Fuck out of here. All right, well, we're gonna do one more little Star Wars segment today, okay? Nothing too crazy, but it's sort of a follow up on a lot of the things I've been talking about, okay? But you know, to be honest with you guys, like, Star Wars did this to themselves. I can't even blame people in the chat for feeling this way, you know? Like, I fucking kind of feel this way, so I totally get it. They really screwed the pooch, but as I said, there is a plan going on, right? So I want to talk a little bit more about that. Doth Saber says, honestly, more interested in the military aspect of the show. Sniper scene with John looked crazy. It looked really cool. Yeah, it looked really cool. I agree. Okay, Star Wars. Couple more updates for you. We'll keep it a brief here, but you know, I've been reporting over the last several days, although I guess, you know, didn't really report over the weekend, but Thursday, Friday, reported on some stuff I was told by an incredible source about Dave Filoni's plans for the future of Star Wars. Look, it's a lot. I guess the TLDR would say we're going back to the Skywalkers. Anakin appears to be a part of that. Leia, Luke, and Han appear to be a part of that. Dave's movie is being retooled to be mostly about the Skywalkers. And I think Mando's story is going to continue in another season, and Ahsoka's going to do her thing, and they will, of course, probably be in the film in some way. But that movie's a Skywalker movie, from what I understand. And that's pretty cool, including Anakin. So I've been telling you that and reporting on it, et cetera, et cetera. Well, over the weekend, Daniel RPK reported that Hayden Christensen has 2 other projects on his contract other than Ahsoka. Pretty cool. And I don't know for sure that Daniel is watching his goddamn streams right now and he's in the fucking walls, but I would imagine that he's hearing a lot of the same things that I am hearing. And so the timing of this is pretty interesting. For Daniel to say not just what I said, but to add to it and get specific and say there are 2 other projects that Hayden has signed on other than Ahsoka, I think that does actually add to the conversation. So we will talk about it a little bit. I guess the first question I'd ask you guys is, what 2 projects could this be? I think one is kind of obvious. I think the other one is maybe less obvious. But what do you guys think? Who could, or I guess what could these 2 projects that Hayden Christensen is signed to other than Ahsoka, what could these 2 projects be? Anybody? Bueller. Alex Perez also tweeted a Vader gif. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's a little too vague for me to really kind of dig into, but that's true. Yeah, Dave's movie, 100%. Dave's movie is the most obvious choice. The Skywalker movie, as we just said, Anakin's a big part of that. Totally. So that's an obvious one. Now, what could the other one be? I guess, you know, it could technically be a sequel to Dave's movie, because that was originally envisioned, I think, as a trilogy of sorts. So that could be, but I don't think so. And in fact, I think, and I just want to tell you, this is pure speculation. I didn't hear this from the Omega source. I didn't hear this from any fucking source. This is just my speculation. Okay. I think it's Starfighter. And I think at the end of that movie, they're going to drop that kid off at Rey's Academy. And I think we're going to see that Anakin is there. And, you know, part of why I think this is, do you guys remember when Levy said he had a certain ending in mind, but it's now being changed, and that's just kind of how it goes? I don't know if you remember this, but he kind of like had this weird quote where he was like, yeah, I kind of had an ending, and then I was told that I'm not going to get that ending, and oh, that's a little unfortunate, but this ending's still going to be really great, or something like that. Well, if they still want to move forward with a Jedi Academy kind of a thing, and they still want Rey to be a part of it, and they're still looking for a way to bridge the gap between, you know, let's say George's stuff, the sequel stuff, and maybe forge a new way forward, then I actually think putting Anakin there in some way, shape, or form, maybe Force Ghost, maybe physically there. I'd prefer him just to physically be there. I don't give a fuck. Just bring him all the way back. I think that could be pretty interesting. And here's the thing, too, right? Like, Star Wars fans are going to be divided on that, for sure. But just like with Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, we are living in an era where it's not necessarily a mortal sin to do something shocking and controversial. And in fact, you could make the argument that to play it safe is death in this modern era of entertainment and franchising. Because I really think that that's a little bit of what Marvel did. It's a lot of what Star Wars did was sort of play it safe, lean on the nostalgia. You know, there's this interview, man. I think about this interview all the time. I think it was in 2019, maybe 2020. It was with the Russo brothers in Wired magazine. I'm pretty sure you cannot find this interview on the internet anymore. But it was an interview with the Russo brothers. And maybe you remember one of the quotes they had where they actually said that Disney was going into an era of being conservative with their media. Now, that doesn't mean right-wing conservative. It's not political conservative. What they meant was they were going to try to not rock the boat and just make as much accessible content for all of that shit as possible. I think they even said you're going to get as much Star Wars and Marvel as you can handle in the next 5 years. That's their words. And I think about that interview all the time because I think that interview is a part of why the Russos almost didn't get the job for these next two Avengers movies, because I think Disney was really fucking mad about it. It also sort of had to do with Scarlett Johansson, the lawsuit there, their conflictions of coming back to work with Marvel in the streaming era, all of that sort of stuff. Okay? So, I don't know, man. Like, there's just something about that I can't help but think is directly related to the fall off of Star Wars and of Marvel, because you just don't have people really swinging for the fences, taking big chances, trying to like reinvent the myth or turn the myth up a notch, if you will. And I think Star Wars was always that. I mean, you look at the original trilogy, and it just keeps like building and swinging for it. I mean, you know, him being Vader's son is insane. The way the ending in the Emperor and all the stuff happens in the Throne's insane. And then he dials it up in the prequels. In the prequels, we're doing midichlorians. We're doing the actual Senate. We see the Jedi in their prime. Like you're seeing the Sith, and they're, you know what I mean? Like you're talking about virgin births. Like people didn't all love it, but it was bold. And I think especially after you witness the sequel trilogy and you sort of live with Disney Star Wars, you realize it. And there was this quote that the guys at Red Letter Media said. I thought it was so on point. Because they did a big video about Star Wars, I think last year. And they said one of the things the Disney trilogy taught fans was to be able to appreciate a flawed artistic vision that's pure over a sort of corporate cookie cutter version of what they think it should be. And that really spoke to me because, again, people don't even love the prequels. There's a lot of people that really hate the prequels, bro. But I think especially in the wake of the sort of sanitized Rey can, you know, anybody can be Rey or whatever the fuck. Like when you look at that sanitized corporate pale in comparison version, I think for me, I just gained a respect for like what George was doing. Again, it ruffled feathers and it shook people up. Now, I say all of that to say that I think Dave is similar. Dave ended Star Wars Rebels with fucking space whales, bro. You know? And it's a really good ending. It's like really meaningful, really weird. Touches on nature versus technology, faith, you know, all of these awesome things. But I remember around the time that it came out, there was, you know, a lot of controversy. Not everybody loved it. And I remember Dave did this interview, I think it was with Christian Harloff, actually. And he talked about how, like, he's like, yeah, but you just got to go for it. You got to be bold. Trust yourself. And if you got into this because you fucking love Star Wars and you come up with something that you can dig, you can get down with, then you're on the right track. Be bold, be great right now. Do it. That's what George did. It didn't always please everyone, but that's how you keep the lifeblood of a franchise just from going stagnant, right? Like, you got to take those chances. So, look, this whole thing that I've been on, and this whole thing I'm trying to talk about with Anakin and the Skywalkers and all of that, it's going to be so easy for people to criticize. It's the easiest low-hanging fruit criticism in the world. And I think the move from Dave and the move from Lucasfilm is just to look that reality right in the face and walk forward. Do something bold. Bring Anakin back to life. Fuck it. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that. And again, it's like, you know, the report from Daniel, I think really should be a nice little co-sign where many of you are like, oh shit, like I think Josh might have been onto it again. It's really not me. It's these incredible sources that put faith and trust in me to not fuck it up and reveal their social security numbers. But yeah, no, dude, it's I'm just trying to report what I've heard because again, I'm pretty much out on Star Wars, but I love what it once meant to me. I'm trying to hold some hope for what this could be. It's going to be a while before we see it. Ahsoka Season 2 sort of like the first part of it next year. That's interesting. The movie should come out in the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, which I think is 2027, so they got to get going on that too. So there you have it, chat. There you have it. What are your thoughts, questions, comments? What do you think about this shit? I wish there was a better lead up to Anakin coming back to life. It's one of the more special occasions in nerd history and should be treated as such. Yeah, but you haven't seen Ahsoka Season 2 yet, so you don't really know. And also, I think Ahsoka Season 1 does a little bit of setup on that, no? Even Mike can appreciate the prequels for what they were, that shows how much screwed up the sequels are. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a very fair way to say it. And he was very honest in even his take on it, you know, and how the Disney stuff really showed him, I think, because he went so hard in the prequels. You got to understand, like, legendary hater, got up early for that shit, right? So for him to be able to bridge that gap, I think is really cool. Yeah. Sent in a soupy. Okay, let me see. Let me catch up on these soupies here. Get premium, people. It's not that expensive and worth it. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm not telling you to get premium. I'm just telling you to shut the fuck up about the ads. Anyway, Zion, what's up, brother? Says, what if Doomsday trailer is the post-credit scene for Brand New Day? Like how Multiverse of Madness was a post-credit for No Way Home for Avengers movie. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, there could be something there. I wouldn't hate that. I think it's really San Diego Comic-Con, guys. That's when we're going to get it, and it's going to be dope, bro. Like, I'm just telling you right now, get ready for the summer, man. San Diego Comic-Con is going to pop, and from San Diego to Doomsday, it's going to be the craziest stretch we've ever had at Den of Nerds. Like, I promise you. Hopefully only to be eclipsed by the run into Secret Wars, but that is what I think is going to happen. Appreciate you, man. Military Anakin Luke Soka cameo. Yeah, that'd be hot. Zinni says Vader show / live action Clone Wars. Maybe. I've heard a little bit about that. Nothing recently, though. Click Clack says, I don't know about you, but I'm surprised at how positive the reactions I've seen to the Anakin news is. I hope they get real mystical with him. I mean, I haven't looked at the reactions at all, brother. I checked out on Friday. I had a lot to do Friday night. Went to see Jerry Seinfeld. Went to dinner with friends. And had a busy weekend as well, so I have not even seen the response. So I'm glad to hear that from you, but I don't know that that's the facts. You know what I mean? What if they're doing Heir to the Empire and they combine Jorah Sabayoth, a Luke clone, into an Anakin clone while maintaining his ghost presence as well? That would be awesome. I think I would love it, and maybe there's something there. Yeah. What do you guys think? Trev got a good idea. At this point, I will gladly take Anakin. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at, too. It's so screwed that I'm like, yeah, dude, do whatever you got to. Like, go crazy. Ahsoka is proof, right? I don't know what you mean. Proof of what? Is Dave Filoni going to get rid of the Star Wars Legends thing and bring back the old canon stuff? No, I doubt it, brother. We're your only friends. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's true. In all seriousness, going to GalaxyCon... Anakin and Boba actually will be there. What question should I ask them when they do a Q&A panel? Oh, brother, don't bug them with this shit. You know what I mean? Just let them live, brother. Let them live. Something hinting at Vader. Yes, I saw that. Anakin could come from the world between worlds. Yes, I think that is possible. Yes. I got to be honest with you. I have no confidence that Disney even knows how to handle Anakin. That's fair. That's fair, brother. Just jumping in, did you talk about the topic yet? Yeah, we just did the Star Wars topic. We're on the tail end of it, and it'll post as a clip later. But you can also watch the replay, brother. You know, or just scroll. I think you can scrub back on the live stream. Go like 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago. Scrub back. Okay, thank you for the X-Men trailer. Yeah. So I think it's nice that this is happening. You know, people are, I think, just now hearing my reports or whatever. They're starting to circulate a little bit. So we'll just see what happens. You know, I'm trying to keep an open mind while also never, ever going to watch that mall show. Okay, anyway, should we move on to some Marvel stuff? Marvel heads, where you at? Y'all ready for some Marvel stuff, huh? All right. All right. I want to do the Punisher stuff, but there's really not too much to do with Punisher, you know? So let's just talk a little Punisher, and then we'll do the Secret Wars casting leaks, because I think that's really, really fun. So, according to Daniel, they are developing another Punisher project right now. And the only reason that's significant is because it's in the wake of the numbers on Disney Plus. So whatever those numbers were, they must have been acceptable for Disney. You know what I mean? Where they were like, okay, there's enough interest here, enough of a push on socials. Actual numbers were pretty good. Yes, we can greenlight more of it. I think also with Frank being in the movie, the Spider-Man film, that's going to help out a lot and obviously give a big boost and a boon to the character. So, yeah, don't waste that and get right at it. Now, of course, I have to do that thing where I pick out the version that they'll never do, but I want so badly, and it's Battleworld. It's Battleworld, dude. I'm sorry, I gotta fucking say it. What I want is all the Punishers, which unfortunately Ray Stevenson, of course, cannot be with us. Late, great Ray, who was that character in Ahsoka as well, Balin Skull. He was a version of the Punisher, and unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But I think Tom Jane is, still around. Dolph Lundgren, I think, is even still around. Probably can barely move. But I want the Punishers together on Battleworld, hunting down motherfuckers, man. Oh my God, please. That's what I want. I just think that would be so cool. There was actually this really cool moment in comics right before Battleworld, where all of like Kingpin and all the villains are just in New York City, like having a feast, talking about the opportunity that's coming from the incursion, stuff like that. And it's a little bit of like, I think it was Year One Batman, where they turn off all the lights and Batman's like, "Gentlemen, you've eaten well," or whatever. Where like Frank comes into the room and basically says the same thing. It was pretty cool, and then he takes them all out. So yeah, it's a good sign. And if you supported Punisher or whatever, good for you, because I think you supported it enough, and we're gonna get a little bit more. So that's awesome. What do you think? Anything on that? I think it's kind of like there's not too much to say. It's cool though. Okay, so Lundgren is still around, and very, very active, as Chad is telling me. Apparently he's still got it, which is good. Get him in there. That's what I say. Punisher and Deadpool 4 would be cool. Man, get the Deadpool out of my face. Movie or a show? We don't know. Probably a show. I'd like a show. So he's in shape. Yeah, but better believe it. Probably on them peptides. You know what I mean? It's a whole new world. Who is your favorite Punisher? I mean, I like John the best, but I kind of got a soft spot for the Tom Jane Punisher movie. I actually really like that Tom Jane Punisher movie. I remember taking I remember watching that movie in theaters. That's what I'll say. Yeah, that CGI was kind of whack, huh? Yeah, you know what's funny too is the story on that movie is so weird because they really wanted Travolta, but Travolta literally said, "If you don't shoot this thing in Tampa, I'm not doing it." What a fucking asshole, dude, But apparently they wanted him so bad, and he's great in the movie. But he's literally like, "I'm in Tampa, so the movie's in Tampa." It's crazy. But yeah, he's cool in it. It's a fun flick. All right, chat. Should we talk a little bit about these here casting leaks, huh? Talk a little bit about these casting leaks for the old Secret Wars here, huh? And then we'll call it a day. I got some editing and shit to do too. Oh, hey, by the way, too, I was thinking, and you let me know what you think about this in chat. I was thinking it might be time to do another Diamond Lounge. I was thinking this Friday. Maybe 7:30, 8 p.m. But here's the thing. Some of you guys are all butthurt about me talking about the aliens. So, should I even do it? Or should I move those conversations to maybe a different channel and a different thing? Because I don't want to cause, conflict and make you guys all mad. There's like a bunch of you guys that are like super mad about it. Can we watch Maul, Shadowlord, and the Diamond Lounge? Absolutely not. They just don't have to join the stream. Yeah, but it were so simple. Aliens in this economy? Yeah. So I am starting another channel. It is a cult. It's not a cult, but it's kind of a cult. It's a mystery school. I'm starting a new venture where I will be discussing the phenomenon, that's kind of how I refer to it, through the lensing of mystery schools, mostly because basically all other fields have failed us. So there's really only one way to get, I think, not even the accurate information, but the most accurate information, and that's through the mystery schools. So I'm doing that. Move it to Warhammer channel. Hey, you don't say that. So maybe what we'll do, guys, is we'll do a Diamond Lounge this Friday, and I'll explain a little bit of this coming channel and what we're going to do over there and things of that nature. So I've been working on it. So, yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll talk more about that later. When does the channel drop? Hard to say. Maybe I'll drop it next week. Maybe I'll start it next week. And it also is going to exist at least partially on Patreon. And that's just because of censorship. There are things that are too radical to be said on YouTube, Twitch, probably even Twitter. Too radical. But we can talk about them on Patreon. At least I believe. So we'll have some of that content paywalled, the more radical shit. But there'll be obviously a lot of regular free content, a little bit more digestible content that I'll put out as well. Going to Rumble, confirm? No. I actually think Patreon's the one for it, man. I think they're the one for it. Hopefully. We'll see. Yes, we'll see. All right, you want to talk about the Secret Wars shit, guys? Shall we begin? Give me 1 second. Okay, so Secret Wars about to film in August. Casting calls are going out as we speak, and there's a lot of logistical shit going on to get people ready and get these scenes ready for that film. And because that's happening, a lot of moving parts, you know, things leak out. Casting grids are like a big thing that they're public information, and you can sort of glean a lot from them. And we just kind of had that happen. So check this out. I want to show you this here. Actually, let me get this pulled up in a way. Uh-oh. All right, hang on, chat. Hang on. Okay, check this out. So this is here, the casting calls. These are for extras, okay? Call for extras in Secret Wars. Let me scroll down a little bit and see. People are just goofing, but I don't think it says how many of them, right? Maybe I'll go through the actual document here. But here's what's most important, okay? These are extras for Secret Wars, and probably extras they're going to need to film stuff right away. So let's go through all of them. I'll read them all, and then I'll go back through them all and speculate about what they are, what they mean, and maybe we'll get a little leakage and some stuff like that too. So here, military people, civilians, scientists, which I think is really interesting, enhanced beings, that's really interesting, fighters, survivors. Ooh, okay, interesting. So let's go through it all. Military. In the context of Battleworld, military could mean many things. The first thing that comes to mind is the Thor Corps. On Battleworld, the police, actually the whole start of the issue is really cool. You see this like unknown Thor guy become worthy in this one ceremony, and then you pull back and you see that it's a bunch of Thors and they're all worshiping God Doom, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? It's a really cool way to open the Secret Wars story. But you come to find out that the Thor Corps is the police of the land. So it's very possible that the military could be the Thor Corps. By the way, I had this thought that because there's a rumor about Doomsday that suggests that the gates of Valhalla will open up, and that a bunch of the living dead from Valhalla will come and fight by Thor's side, because Odin will help them out to do that. That's the prayer. That's the whole thing, right? And it made me think, okay, well, is that how we're going to get the Thor core? Because they're all technically back, and then Doom uses some magic, wipes their memories, and they become the Thor core? That could be. And I think that would be fucking dope. Now, it could be other military, though. We really don't know what Doom's battle world will look like, but it could be military from different zones. So, for instance, the Hulks, all the Hulks, they could have their own military. Let's say there's a Spider Island thing with maybe Andrew Garfield is the Duke of. They could have an army, right? Let's say there's a Shadowland Daredevil thing. They have the hand ninjas, but maybe they also have an army. So I don't know. Military is interesting. Could mean many different things. Civilians. That's probably the easiest one. These are just background civilians. And if you look at some of the concept art, even the ones with like Hulk, and you see She-Hulk and Scar, there are people in the background that are Hulk people, which I think is your enhanced beings, which we'll get to in a minute here. But there are also just regular folks. So I would imagine there's going to be a lot of just regular folks on Battleworld. Now, they would probably, I would imagine, be all over the place, be in different zones, maybe have the 1602 aesthetic, Game of Thrones aesthetic. Maybe the aesthetic is specific to a zone, you know, and where the people are from. But by and large, I mean, it ain't too hard to figure out civilians on Battleworld, right? Those are pretty simple. Scientists. Now, this one's pretty intriguing, okay? I actually am most intrigued by scientists. Why? Well, in Hickman's Secret Wars, Valeria does have a group of friends that are essentially like the Future Foundation, and she is the smartest person in the entire universe, and she's one of the first people to put together that these new beings, these anomalies that are popping up, have no trace of like the God Emperor Doom particle. This is a little bit heady, it's a little bit trippy, but essentially she realized it's this thing that every molecule in the universe in Battleworld has like an impression of Doom. There's like a Doom in there. But these new people, the survivors that pop up from the raft, they do not have the Doom God particle. So she's the first person to like recognize what that is and start to explore what's actually going on with their reality. And I would love it if that was a thing. And I don't even know that Valeria's in this thing, right? We really don't. But I would imagine Doom would have a bunch of scientists working on, at the very least, what you could refer to as sort of like a metaphysical upkeep of whatever Battleworld actually is. That would be really interesting. So I'm imagining, like, you know, in Wakanda, how the lower levels have all these labs, and everybody's in like white coats, and they're all just doing a bunch of crazy science and robotics down there in the lower levels. I actually would imagine Doom's castle would be similar. You have, very Arthurian aesthetic, Gothic aesthetic with the castle and everything, and then lower levels you'd probably get more into the scientific. That's just pure speculation, but that's what I'm thinking. Enhanced beings. So part of the juice of Battleworld was that when you go to the Greenland, it's not just like people and then a few Hulks. It's like, no, there's like, that's where all the Hulks are. You go to, the Spider Island, that's where all the Spider people are. You go to the Mutant Island, that's where all the mutants are, or the mutant section, you know, the Britain Corps, they're all in one section, et cetera, et cetera. The point is, there are going to be a whole bunch of enhanced people on Battleworld. So it's not just like a bunch of citizens and the Marvel heroes, you know. No, it is like an extrapolated out population based on different types of enhanced beings that exist in the Marvel universe. And I think by design, they're domains, right? So that's kind of what I think it is. Now, fighters. What's the difference between military, enhanced beings, and fighters, guys? Any thoughts, chat? Anybody got any thoughts on that? Because I got some thoughts. Chat. What's the difference between military, enhanced beings, and fighters? Yeah, I think Moldonite got it. Fighters equal gladiators. So there have been some long-standing rumors to suggest that there will be some kind of coliseum or section where there are fights, maybe even fights to the death, maybe trials by combat, which is a thing that happens in the Hickman run. There were stories that the Spider Boys would be forced to fight each other, that Tom Holland, Tobey, and Andrew Garfield are going to be forced to fight against each other. And I sort of conceived that through the lens of gladiatorial fighting. So I think that's going to be a thing. And I think there's going to be a part of Battleworld where there are these gladiatorial fights and there's some hierarchy there and some of the characters kind of get trapped there and have to sort of get through it, etc., etc. Of course, we're speculating here. Yeah, connected to the Grandmaster, very likely. Just so you guys are clear, like, I wasn't told this by anybody, right? We are in speculation territory. It's informed in speculation, but it's just speculation. And then Survivors is interesting. I wonder if this means any of the regular human folk will survive via the raft. Maybe they're surviving in a different way. Maybe the TVA has them or something. I'm not really sure, but Survivors is quite interesting. And I think that's probably what that refers to. Do you guys have any questions or any thoughts yourselves on what these could be? And I also will just point out that it's really cool to have this much of a variety of extras. You know, again, the fighters and military, civilians, scientists, enhanced beings, survivors. That's a pretty eclectic group, and it shows that we'll see a lot of different slices of Battleworld, a lot of different sides, which is appropriate. It should be so fun to explore that. So anyway, any thoughts here? Jeff Goldblum might come back then. Yeah. I mean, I would imagine they're trying to get as many people back as possible. They want these things to be pure spectacle. And also Goldblum in this scenario could just like show up for one little scene where he's like, let them fight or something, you know? And the Silver Surfer cartoon, they lose their memories while being gladiators. Yeah, that's true. And that could connect to what it is as well. I'm not really sure, but yeah. Yeah, that could absolutely be a part of it. Yeah, ye old Rogers. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Apparently he's at practice this morning, and because he signed very late last time, but now he's going to be there for the whole workout in the summer. So I'm excited, yeah. Getting everyone involved? Yeah, I think so. I think you have to. I mean, Secret Wars is a celebration of everything Marvel for the past 40, 50 years, so... Yeah, you got to. I mean, that's why they're doing a Black Panther, right? They got the message. By the way, we were not exactly pleasant about how we communicated that, and yet they received the message. We're going to get a Black Panther in Secret Wars. It's important to us. They're going to do it. Now, they might do it in a way that isn't like the perfect thing we want or whatever, but I still think you don't look what's the expression? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right? Rogers is poo-poo? Well, I guess we'll just see, won't we? I don't think he's poo-poo at all. I don't think he's poo-poo at all, but I guess we're going to find out, huh? Enhanced beings got to be the Greenland Hulks. Yeah, but also potentially some spider people. You know, it could definitely be some spider people. Mutants, could be the zombies, Marvel zombies, guys. Hello? Chad Kroger Hero will return in Secret Wars credits. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. Didn't know about that. Finto182 says, Lantern's trailer was great in my opinion. I am hyped for it. Yeah, I thought it was actually really good. You'll have to either watch the stream back or watch that clip that I post later, but that trailer kind of shocked me, man. That kind of surprised me. I swear to God, chat. You guys are so wild. You guys are so ridiculous. Do you think that introduces Apocalypse and Sinister in Secret Wars as Barons? I hope so. I'm just not sure. They're juggling a lot. Trying to go into Doomsday blind, so not watching as much, but still a member and want to support. Thanks for all that you do. I'll be there with you at Secret Wars screening. I appreciate you, man, and I totally understand it. You know, I try to respect the way that anybody wants to come to the content or come to the Marvel stuff. You know, I just do my thing and try to give fair warning, and yeah, so appreciate you. People being banished to the Marvel Zombie Island on Battleworld would be nuts. Yes, that would be very fun. That's something that happens in the Secret War shit for show. And I think it would be cool. I think it would be really, 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 really cool, guys. So I'm about that life. I'm about that life. Any other thoughts here, guys, before we wrap this section up? They did technically. Love and Thunder was what was coming, and she had the power of eternity. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Do you think Black Panther and Secret Wars will be the king of the underworld? No. Maybe. I don't know. That's a cool question. Hello, baby bird. Hope you're doing well. 2, why the cosmic gods haven't interfered. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I think either way you slice it, man, there's some real potential there, right? So hopefully they can cook. They got some cool ingredients, man. I don't know if it'll be Pittsburgh, brother. We might do a bigger city. I mean, obviously I love Pittsburgh, but we want to try to make it as accessible to the other Nerd Avengers as possible. Seeing how much non-comic book people don't understand what the 2 Avengers movies really are. Yeah, but all that means is it has laid the stage for people to be truly shocked by what will occur. So it's all good, man. You know, the doubters and the haters and skeptics, it's all good. It's only going to serve to create a even more unbelievable experience for people. Sitting in Ireland? Well, you're probably screwed either way, brother. That's a very expensive plane ride. If you got in a boat right now, though, and started rowing, you'd probably make it here before Secret Wars. Philadelphia Eagles or Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'll always root for the Eagles unless they're playing the Steelers. That's how that goes. Love my Pittsburgh teams. Obviously, I lived in Philly for 7 years, so I have I have an appreciation for Philly. But I've lived in Pittsburgh as well, and I kind of grew up on the western side of the state, so. Yeah. I like both sides, man. The tale of two cities in a lot of ways, but yeah. Alrighty, well, let's wrap on that Secret Wars section there. Hey, real quick though, how accurate do you think my speculations are? You know what I mean? Like I was just like, whoo, Hail Mary. How accurate do you think my speculations will be? X-Men trailer time? Yeah, we can watch the X-Men trailer, and then I'm gonna get on out of here, okay? And then I'm gonna get on out of here. Oh, okay, yeah, totally. All right, where's this thing at? X-Men 97? Is this official or leaked? Oh, it's a leaked trailer? I can't watch that, brother. It's a leaked trailer, brother. Lanterns trailer drop. We already did a reaction to it. And you might be surprised that I really liked it. I thought it was pretty damn good, bro. I thought it was pretty damn good. I'm actually excited for that shit now. All right, I gotta catch up on a couple of supers, but hang on. Zacky Wacky said, if no Doomsday trailer by June, you gotta binge stream Maul. What does that mean? Why would that be a thing? I don't understand you guys. The Daddy Dane Show says, Josh, you're leaking. Oh no! That happens as you get older, though, you know? Austin says, I know you've covered this before, but can you provide a proper reading list for Secret Wars? I want to read before the movie. Look, I mean, there's just so many different versions of this. I think the cleanest way is literally just read New Avengers, those 33 issues. I think it was 32. From when Hickman started New Avengers, just read that. Because like the Avengers stuff is fine, but it doesn't add, it's not adding to the myth of like the Game of Worlds and Rabomalal and all that shit. Like it really doesn't do much for that, in my opinion. So I would read New Avengers, those 32 issues, and then just read Secret Wars. That's how I would do it. All right, let me try to catch up on these soupy chats. Diamond, what? We do not speak its name. Yes, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking. Move it to the Warhammer chat. How dare you, Sasha? I flow with a $20 haul. That's very generous, brother. Thank you so much. Says, I'm intrigued by the thought of aliens, but can't participate in Diamond Lounge. Not a member. Well, that's part of why I'm making the other channel. So don't worry. You'll have a way to participate as well. And get the info, man. That's really what it's about. Getting the info, you know, making up your own mind. This week may be, I don't know, but may be a pretty crazy week for disclosure. So I think a Friday night stream might be really good for perhaps processing some of that and discussing it. So that's what we'll do. And then I'll probably start the new channel next week. Man, I went out yesterday. It was a beautiful day. I went to the beach and I was trying to record a little for that channel, actually. And I looked at the recording and I was just like, it was like 80 degrees. I was just like sweating and I was trying to like just be calm and talk. It looked absolutely fucking terrible. So I was like, we'll try that again. I've tried a couple of different like ways to do it. I kind of want to get out of the house and get into nature to record those videos. But, there are obviously things you can't control out in nature that you can in the studio. Did you meditate on the beach? Not yesterday, but I have. Have you ever been an extra in a movie or show? No. No. I had friends that were. A lot of my friends went down and were a part of the scene in the Christopher Nolan John where they blow up, I think at the time it was Three Rivers Stadium. No, maybe it was Heinz Field. But yeah, I had friends that went down there. But I gotta tell you, dude, being an extra, like, I don't know why people do it. Like, you get a little bit of money. It's like a 16-hour day. You're constantly being shuffled around like an animal. I think being an extra fucking sucks ass, dude. I don't understand why people want to do it. It was 107 in Phoenix yesterday. Yeah, all right, brother, but I'm from the north, man. 80 for me is fucking hot. Okay? Holy. Dark Knight Rises, actually. Is that what it was? Yeah. Yeah, and look, they thought it was cool, and they were like, you can kind of see me in this one shot over there. Just like, all right, you know. What's a little bit of money? I don't know. I think you get 500, maybe, for a day. But again, that's like a 16-hour day, brother. Like, that's really not, when you really look at it, it's like not that great. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, look, I think that's going to do it for the topics today. I've got some other editing. I'm working on a ton of stuff right now. I am working on Unity stuff. I should have, my main goal right now is to have a very big announcement around the time of San Diego Comic-Con for Unity as well. And I'm really hoping it's going to be a very special announcement. So I've been working a lot on stuff behind the scenes. I've been very quiet. But that's the tentative goal, is to have a big drop in the summer and the back half of the year, which also, too, like, sorry, I am kind of planning this in a sense that when the Marvel stuff's really popping, I want the Unity stuff to be really popping because I'll have access to more eyeballs. Sorry, it's part of the game. So we're kind of, you know, waiting for that. But a lot of work is being done. I think you guys are going to be very impressed with what we release in the summertime. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Appreciate you guys. What do you think about the fights this weekend? UFC and Netflix. Ronda robbed everyone. Yeah. Look, I don't want to speak ill of the ladies. But I just thought that shit wasn't it. But what do I know? I mean, if it did super big numbers and a bunch of people really thought it was cool, whatever, you know, that's what it's for. But I kind of walked away from it being like, you know, I know Dana's a controversial guy, and I know not everybody likes Dana, but I just think you got to give him props because the UFC's production, just nobody, like, it's just the best. It's the best. Nobody can do what he does. And I haven't really watched too much of the Zuffa boxing, but I would imagine just like UFC, it's probably got a quicker clip. You know, I mean, frankly, the Netflix John was just way too much Ariel Helwani filling air. And that is off-putting, man. That is off-putting. So, like, to the point that I would turn it off and then turn it on for the fights, and the space in between was wild, bro. So, yeah, I didn't really enjoy it too much. And, again, I'm not trying to talk any smack on, you know, the gals or anything. I thought it was incredible they got them together. I'm glad they got paid. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Would you drop a Unity update in the middle of a Doomsday video on the main channel, like as an advertisement? Maybe question for the next Prime stream. Look, guys, it wouldn't make sense, and I understand. Like, people ask me about it in the chat, or they're expecting it here and there. But like, after 2 years of delay and a lot of silence at the beginning of part of this year, do you really think I'm just gonna give you the update in a random video or something? No, like, it'll be built up to, it'll be properly promoted. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, hey, random person that asked me about Unity for the 13th time at the end of a stream. You know what? Now is the perfect time to tell you everything I've been working on. That's not how this shit works. That's not how this shit works. So, no, you'll see it coming with plenty of signage, and you'll know. New Noir trailer tomorrow, and the poster drop today. Yeah, I'm excited about that show, man. Which I think doesn't it drop next Wednesday on Prime? We got to do a watch party. We got to plan a little watch party for that. I'm excited for that one. That's gonna be cool. All right, everybody. Well, I'm gonna get on out of here, man. I really appreciate you guys. Again, thank you for being here. It's a good stream. No stream tomorrow, but we'll be back out on Wednesday, and it should be a really, really good stream Wednesday. And again, Diamond Lounge Friday night. Oh, by the way, I'll leave you with one more very crazy idea that'll make some of you want to burn me at the stake. Unless there's crazy news for Friday, I want to do another meta nerd-venging lecture. And the topic for Friday's stream will be Gnosticism in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's multiversal saga leading to its Secret Wars. And I want to show you how a lot of ideas from Gnosticism have manifested themselves in the story that Kevin Feige is telling with Kang, the timelines, universes, and stuff like that. And I think it'll help some of you guys to understand where my mind goes to when I look at some of this stuff. So, hey, look, if there's really crazy news Friday, we'll just do that. But I have been working on another one of those lectures, and I think Friday, just like we did before, a little double dose could be fun. You know, kind of fuck you up in the morning with some trippy Gnostic shit, and then talk about the aliens at night on the Prime stream. That sounds like a good Friday to me. I don't know about y'all. All right, everybody, I'm out of here. Appreciate you guys. Much love. And as I always say, I hope you, that's right, you, are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh man! Another happy landing, I say. Another great Monday stream to get you started for the week. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. You know, it was really cool. Jerry, I thought he was great. I thought he was really funny, actually surprisingly funny, but he loved the crowd so much that he came out, did a little encore, asked some questions, just chatted it up, and it was pretty cool, man. You know, he definitely does not need to be doing this. He's 72 years old. He's rich as rich can be from the royalties of his show. He definitely doesn't need to be doing it, and he's doing it because he loves it, and he loves connecting with people and making an audience of people feel good, and it was really cool. So I thought that was fun, man, and just kind of it's just kind of interesting, you know. You just see a master of their craft into their journeyman years still doing it and still bringing something to the table. It was pretty cool. I hope you get out there and enjoy some of this good weather if you got it. Enjoy some of this life if you got it, you know what I mean? So get on out of there. Hey, do me a favor before you do, though. Actually, make it 2. Open up that third eye and wash out that stinky, stinky butt. Oh. Okay, see you.